Hey guys, what's up? I'm Erin and welcome back to the channel. If you want to build wealth for retirement, one of the smartest things you can do is take advantage of tax-advantaged accounts. 401ks, IRAs, HSAs, you name it. These accounts allow you to put your money in and allow it to grow completely tax-free or tax-deferred, really allowing you to supercharge your savings. But what if I told you some experts want to completely eliminate the 401k? Not just tweak it, but that they want to completely eliminate all employer-sponsored retirement accounts altogether. Sounds crazy, right? That's exactly what a Yale law paper proposes. And once you dig into the reasoning, it might not be as crazy as it first sounds. Let's start with the facts. 401ks are one of the most widely used retirement accounts, with 56.6% of Americans holding one. And when we look at the participation by generation, we see that 76% of Gen Xers have a 401k account and 75% of millennials have 401k accounts. So we can see that these accounts are highly utilized by American workers today. And while a 401k millionaire is rare, with only 3% of 401ks holding a seven-figure balance, it's roughly 80% of present-day millionaires that cite it was their employer-sponsored retirement account that was the primary driver for them reaching millionaire status. The 401k is a key tool that allows Americans to save and invest for retirement. So why propose to eliminate it? Despite its popularity, the 401k isn't perfect. This paper highlights several flaws in the employer-sponsored retirement accounts. The biggest issue is a lack of access. About 42% of Americans don't have an employer-sponsored plan available to them. I've talked about this before. America's retirement crisis really isn't just about a low savings rate. It really tends to be more about a lack of access to employer-sponsored retirement accounts. For those who don't have access to an employer-sponsored retirement account, they tend to not save for retirement. For those who have access, they are overwhelmingly more likely to save and more likely to be financially prepared for retirement. The authors also highlight many restrictions around 401k accounts. For example, many employees face waiting periods before they're even eligible to contribute to these accounts. Also, there's limited fund options available, and the funds that are available may have high fees associated with them. For example, many employers require a 90-day or longer waiting period before new employees can start contributing. While investment choices and fees have improved over the years, many employers still offer less than ideal options. Another issue, the employers choose the brokerage, leaving the employees with no choice of where their money gets invested. As a Vanguard enthusiast, Vanguard is my first choice. However, I've worked for companies that have chosen to use other providers, and thus I've had to invest with other companies. This paper also refers to what they call retirement savings leakage, where an employee leaves a job and cashes out their 401k rather than rolling it over. Research shows that 41.4% of workers withdraw some or all of their savings when they change jobs. This short-term decision hurts your long-term wealth potential because it makes it so you can't take advantage of compounding growth long-term. And beyond just fees and access, the authors argue that our current system is overly complex, creating unnecessary administrative burdens for the employers. Their solution? Eliminate all of these employer-sponsored plans entirely in favor of a streamlined retirement investing landscape, with simply an all-IRA system with both a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA. As it currently stands today, the contribution limits to 401ks are very generous. Employees can contribute $23,500 on an annual basis. For those 50 and older, they can contribute an additional $7,500 on top of the traditional $23,500. And for those specifically age 60 to 63, they are eligible for an even higher catch-up limit of $11,250 on top of the regular contribution limits. Let's contrast that with the contribution limits for an IRA, which currently sit at $7,000 per year. And for those age 50 and older, they're eligible for an additional $1,000 catch-up contribution. One of the biggest disparities between these retirement accounts today is their contribution limits. The authors propose eliminating this gap by raising the IRA contribution limits to match the 401k limits. Under this proposal, all employee-sponsored retirement accounts would be eliminated. Think the solo 401k, traditional 401k, and Roth 401k, 403b, you name it. And instead, we would be left with just a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA, with the Roth IRAs and the traditional IRA having the contributions of the other accounts. The goal here is to simplify the investment landscaping, removing all complexity from the system and isolating the accounts available. Now you might be thinking, I max out my 401k and my IRA as it stands today, so this move would actually lower the total amount that I'm allowed to put away. Well, in that case, maybe they could raise the IRA limits even higher. Remember that this is just a proposal and it's not a formal proposal. It's just a talking point. A major concern is the employer match, which is a huge asset in retirement savings. According to Vanguard, the median employer match is 4%. Take an employee earning $50,000 per year who saves 4% of their salary, $2,000 annually, over 40 years with an 8% rate of return. This could grow to over $500,000. But with an employer match, their savings rate doubles to 8%, and their portfolio could reach over $1.1 million. In my opinion, the employer match is too valuable to lose. For many Americans, I think it's the reason they're able to retire in a financially secure way. The authors propose a simple fix. They don't want to eliminate the employer match. Instead, they simply want the employers to put their matching contribution directly into the employee's IRA rather than the 401k. All the employee would have to do is supply the IRA details, similar to how we set up direct deposit for paychecks. They even say that vesting schedules could still apply, ensuring employees meet service requirements before fully owning the employer contributions. IRA providers like Fidelity, Vanguard, and Schwab, or whoever, could manage these vesting rules. The bottom line is the employer match wouldn't go away, it would simply be deposited into an IRA instead of a 401k. Another major issue is that Roth IRAs have income limits restricting who can contribute directly. High-income earners can take advantage of a backdoor Roth, but it does add one extra layer of complexity. The authors highlight an inconsistency here, saying that anyone, regardless of income, can contribute to a Roth 401k, but then we have strict income limit caps for those who want to contribute to a Roth IRA. They say this is an unfair and unnecessary distinction, stating a worker with access to a Roth 401k can contribute regardless of their income. Yet a worker without an employer-sponsored retirement plan is subject to Roth IRA income restrictions. Their solution is to eliminate the Roth IRA income limits, making both the traditional IRA and the Roth IRA available to all workers, just like the 401k. The authors emphasize that while IRAs wouldn't be tied to an employer, workers would still need to have earned income to contribute, just like today. An exception would remain for non-working spouses, allowing them to contribute through a spousal IRA based on their partner's earnings. This rule already exists and would roll on over into an all-IRA system. However, the authors do acknowledge that we should have a lower contribution limit for the non-income earning spouse, maybe something that's more in line with what the limits are today, $7,000 on an annual basis. This proposal would give employees more control over their retirement savings. Instead of being tied to an employer's plan, you get to have your own IRA and you get to keep the same account regardless of where you work. I love that it gives you greater flexibility to choose the brokerage house that you work with and even the investment options available to you. I think this gives ultimate freedom and ultimate flexibility, helping you really control your financial future. However, this proposal isn't a perfect solution. One very real concern is that employers may be less inclined to offer a matching contribution if the account isn't really tied to their company. Currently, 49.9% of employer plans don't offer a match. And I could see that this number could easily rise in an all-IRA system, and that would be a major setback for employees. I think another concern is participation rates. A lot of employees end up saving or participating in their company's 401k because of automatic enrollment. 73% of workers participate in employer-sponsored plans, but only 36% actively contribute to an IRA. If investment decisions were solely in the employee's hands, fewer employees may open up these accounts, and that could worsen the retirement crisis. I think this offers great freedom and great flexibility, giving the employees complete ownership over their account and not having it tied to any specific employer. Imagine opening one account at the age of 20 and keeping it through multiple job changes and retiring 40 years later with that exact same account. No rollovers, no hassle along the way. This proposal promises freedom, few restrictions, and a simpler system overall. But what are the costs? Would less people participate? Would savings weaken over time? Would this worsen the retirement crisis? What are your thoughts on an all-IRA system? Do you think it's a good move, or do you think it'd be a step too far? Share your thoughts in a comment down below. I post new videos every single week. If you got anything at all out of this one, please give it a like. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, or if you know of someone who might get something out of this type of content, please consider sharing. I'll see you soon. Bye. Employees face waiting periods. I'm rushing and I need to stop. Now you might be, oops, let's not put it behind the ears. There we go. Their solution, excuse me, so sorry. More in line with what the limits are to do. Frick. I think it was recording before, but I didn't have my red box, and now it's there. I don't know, I was trying to... Somebody texted me about Squid Games? I'm so confused. I don't know what Squid Games are. Good? Okay, okay.